everyone, welcome back. Today's video is a get ready with me. Tonight I am going out to dinner with my husband and some friends. We have a reservation at one of the fancier places here in Las Vegas. So as you can tell, I've gone a little bit more to the glam side, which is, let's be honest, my favorite thing to do. I love any opportunity to get dressed up and to add a little or do a more dramatic makeup look. So that's clearly what I've done today, but in the process of doing this look, I'm showing you some new products, including how I used the new Marc Jacobs limited edition Eye-conic Steel palette. This palette is absolutely gorgeous. This was my first Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palette purchase, and now I feel like I want all of them, even though I definitely do not need any more eyeshadow. But truthfully, I don't really have many cool toned eyeshadow palettes in my collection, so that was my justification for it. Some of the other products I used are just new to me. I would say most of them haven't been out very long. The majority have not, but some, you know, like my foundation and powder, those things have been out for a while. But yeah, I do use some new things and some new just to me things. So if you'd like to get ready with me and see how I got this look, then please keep on watching. Okay, let's get started. I have already applied some moisturizer and I'm going to be applying the primer, the Farsali Skintune. This is a really nice primer if you have oily skin and large pores. It really helps to kind of diffuse the look of the pores a little bit. It's not like the world's greatest pore refiner in the world, but it does help to keep my skin a little less shiny though, and also it keeps it looking fresh throughout the day and or night. So now I'm moving on to my eyeshadow primer. I am using the NARS Pro Prime. Of course, everything will be listed in the description box. This is the medium. So now that I am primed, I'm going to put on my foundation. Nothing new here. I promise you I am going to be getting to some newer products, but this is a new little mixture for me. I went and purchased another Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation in the shade Nude. It also is more of, in my opinion, like a medium coverage foundation. It's not super full. So when I want a more full coverage look, but I don't want something that's super full, does that make any sense at all? It's kind of like I want like just to the edge of full coverage, but not quite full coverage. What I'll do is I will take a mixture, or do a mixture of the Peach Perfect Comfort Matte, just have a little pump of that, and then a pump of my MAC Studio Fix Fluide. This is what I'll use if I do want that full-on full coverage. So I have a pump of each, and what I do is I just mix it on the back of my hand and then apply it. And then I'm using my Stansout sponge, my ratty looking Stansout sponge. I actually just ordered a new one this morning because I knew I wanted to use it. I knew I was going to be filming this video. Whoa, what is going on here? Oh, pieces of the sponge are falling apart. What was I saying? Yeah. When I was planning to do this video, I gather the things I'm going to be using, and I took one look at the sponge and I went, you can't show that in a video. You really can't. But here I am, but I did order one to use in the future. What is going on here? I never break out on my neck. That's so weird. So I'm pretty haphazard when it comes to applying my foundation. I try to be a little bit better about it, like say if this were a foundation demo, but since it's not, I'm giving you more of my true to life experience, a more everyday experience, not a perfect YouTuber way of doing things. Okay, so I'm not gonna do my concealer just yet. What I've been doing lately is just doing my brows and my eyes first and then doing my concealer afterwards. So I'm going to move on to my brows. But before I do that, what I do is I take my loose powder. I'm using the Huda Beauty, what's this called? It's the Easy Bake Loose Powder, and I use the shade Pound Cake. And I'm just dusting this onto my forehead and brows. That's it. Nowhere else just yet. I do that because I don't want to have to go back and powder around my brows or do anything else around my brows once they're done, because inevitably I will mess them up. Now I am taking a little spoolie and brushing up my brows. And I am using a new product next. Relatively new product. I did talk about this in my Ulta haul. This is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio, what is this called? Brow Pomade. I used the blonde in my Ulta haul, but I really wanted to try the soft brown because sometimes I like to do a little bit of a darker brow. And I'm using it with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Brush. I do not like the little brush that it comes with, so. And I think I might fast forward through this part because it takes me quite a long time and it's pretty boring. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to speed this part up. Now to carve out my brows, I'm going to use this Eve Pearl concealer. It's a dual salmon concealer in Fair. And a lot of people ask me if I have my brows microbladed or have I considered having my brows microbladed. And actually, they were microbladed about 2 years ago. And I have a video on my channel about my experience. Oh, I did not do a good job with that at all. I kind of cut off the tail of my brow. So yeah, I did not have a good experience. I did my research. I went to someone who was supposed to be one of the best, and I don't know, I just don't like the way it turned out. It's still, some of the pigment is still there by the front of my brow, and I don't have any hair that grows there, so it looks a little weird. So I always have a hard time filling in this front part of my brow because it's kind of like this greenish tint. It has this greenish tint to it, which I really don't like. Why does it look like one brow is significantly thinner than the other? And it really hurt. Not so much the first time, but when I went in the second time. Why is this brow giving me so much trouble today? Okay, but I don't have time to mess around with it. I will just make it worse. So sometimes you just have to say, it's good enough. All right, where were we? Okay, so the microblading. Yeah, I did not have a good experience. I don't think I'm gonna do it again, and that's that. So let's move on to the eyes. I'm using the new Marc Jacobs Stiletto eyeshadow palette. This is my first Marc Jacobs palette, and I absolutely love it. I decided that I'm just going to do the look that I posted on my Instagram the other day because a lot of you asked me, how, are you going to do a tutorial on that? Can you please show how you got that look? So that's the look I'm going to do today. So I started by using this Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that came in one of the palettes. I think she puts brushes in all of the palettes. So if you have any of the recent ABH eyeshadow palettes, you probably have this brush. So the first thing I'm doing is I am taking a little mixture of these two shades right here called the Concrete and the Jungle. So I'm putting my brush, just dipping the brush, going back and forth into each of those shades. And then I am applying that through my crease. Now, being that this was my first Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palette purchase, I obviously did not know how well they would perform, if they would perform well, if they would blend nicely, if they would be patchy. And I do not find them to be patchy or difficult to blend at all. I think that they go on so smoothly and so pigmented. I'm not worrying about what's getting over here because I haven't done my concealer yet. So I can go back and clean up the edges. And then because I have more hooded eyes, I like to look straight into the mirror and take it up a little bit higher with my eyes open. And now with a flat brush, this is just an old one from Smashbox, I'm going to go into this white shade called Rule, and I'm going to pop that right underneath my brow and along the edges of that crease color. I'm still really angry at this brow right now. I don't know if it's this product. Maybe I shouldn't have gone for the soft brown. I don't know. I'm just not real pleased with how my brows are looking at the moment. Now I'm taking the other side of this Anastasia brush and I'm going into the shade that's in the middle called Sidewalk. And I am applying this all over my lid. This color is so pigmented. I was really not expecting that. And it's such a unique shade too. It's like a gray, silver, blue, lavender. I mean, look at that. Can you see how pigmented that is? It's crazy pigmented. Okay, next. This is a Bare Minerals. This is a really old brush. It's called the Tapered Eyeshadow Brush. And I am going to go into the black shade. I am going in. And this is another reason why I didn't do my concealer yet, because whenever I work with black, there's a good chance that it's going to have some fallout. And I'm just gonna pop this onto the outer corners of my eye. And again, with hooded lids, I like to work with my eye open and just kind of get right in that fold so it doesn't go up too high. I want you to still be able to see the transition color. So I'm just packing that on the outer corner. Not really coming in too much. So eyes open, packing it on, and then pressing it into the outer corner. I apologize if you can hear my family upstairs. That's why I have a difficult time recording on the weekends, because I've got a noisy household with 2 teenage boys and 2 dogs, and I tell them I'm recording and I say, please be quiet, I'm recording, and then they still make a lot of noise. So now I'm blending I'm blending out the black. And this brush is just one that comes in the Flower Beauty eyeshadow palette. I don't really like the Flower Beauty eyeshadow palettes, but I really like this brush. And I've said this a lot, that I think it's worth the $6 or $10 for the palette just to get this brush, because it is so good. And doing that did kind of take away a little bit of the color that was on my lid. So I'm gonna go back and pat it back on right to the center. And then once I put my concealer on, I am going to go and put the same shade in my tear duct. So now I am taking a makeup wipe and I'm cleaning up any fallout, anything that got like in my tear duct area. Sometimes that happens. And now I'm going to do some liquid eyeliner. I'm using this one from MAC. I just got it. I don't know if it's new, but I just got it. It's called Brush Black Brushstroke Liner. I happened to see this on display at the MAC store maybe about a month ago, and so I thought I would give it a try, and I really like it. So I'm gonna try doing this on camera. I'm always terrible at applying liner on camera, but this brush really does make it super easy. For me to be able to do winged liner one-handed, that means that it's a good liquid eyeliner, that the brush is really easy to control. So I'm really liking this eyeliner. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera just to save some time. So I'll be right back. All right, my wings are done. Hopefully they are even. Now I'm gonna take the brush I used to carve out my brows, and whatever concealer is left on there, I'm gonna take and just sharpen up those wings. All right, now it's time for concealer. I am trying for the very first time the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. A lot of you have asked me to try this, and because I have 10 to 20 other concealers already on my vanity, I thought, no, I'm not gonna buy it. I don't need to buy it, but I finally caved. So this has a unique applicator. I see a lot of eye creams with this type of application method, but not a lot of concealers. I typically like to apply concealer with a wand or with my finger. Let's see if I wanna do it like this. I guess it's good for getting right in there. I'm just gonna sort of pat it on, and I'm using my mini beauty blender that I love. And it might be a little light for me. a little yellow, but I think I can make it work. The coverage is good. Oh. I don't know. It seems to be really clinging to the dryness under my eye and getting right into those lines. So, the coverage is definitely good. I don't even think I'm going to set this. Usually I set my concealer, but I feel like if I add powder to this, it's going to look really bad. So I think I'm just going to leave it like this. It's definitely brightening. On the camera, on the viewfinder, it's looking super light. This is clearly not the shade I should have chosen. You're probably wondering why I didn't go to the store and test my color before I ordered it. It's a very good point. You are correct. I should have gone to Sephora and, oh, you're probably also wondering, some of you, why I didn't just buy it at Sephora. I ordered it from a store called Namies. Some of you are going to be tired of hearing me talk about it, but if you're new, Namies is a beauty supply store in Los Angeles that gives pretty good discounts to makeup artists. So that's where I order from a lot because, well, why wouldn't I want to save 20 to 40%? So that's why I didn't buy it at Sephora, but I definitely should have gone there and selected my color before placing my order. But this was kind of like a last minute purchase. I wanted to order the lipstick that I'm going to be showing you, and I had to get to $50 to get the free shipping. We all know how that goes. You got to get that free shipping. It just pains you to pay the $5 or $6. So that's why I finally gave in and ordered this, clearly not getting the correct color. I gotta say though, the coverage is really, really fantastic. All right, so now I don't think it's too bad. I think these lights are making it look a lot worse than it is. So, oh, mascara. I'm going to curl my lashes and apply mascara. I did purchase some new lashes, also from Namies. These are the Huda Beauty Jacqueline Classic lashes. Because I'm going to be putting on lashes, it doesn't really matter what mascara I use, so I'm just reaching for my MAC Extended Play Giga Black. And I'm just putting on a light coat. I know some of you are probably thinking, there she goes again, putting on her false lashes. I'm not gonna lie, I am addicted to false lashes. I just love the way they look. I don't like the real over-the-top ones that you see a lot of people on YouTube and Instagram wearing. And these feel really light and they look actually pretty subtle. I think I might love these. So I place them on my lid and then I figure out how much I'm gonna need to cut off. I wear lashes so often and I've been wearing them for so long that I pretty much already know where I need to cut. These Jacqueline lashes are really, really pretty. I definitely need to do my under eyes now. But before I get to that, I'm going to powder the rest of my face. I am once again using the Huda Beauty baking powder. And I'm just dusting that all over my face. Remember, I already did my forehead earlier, so I don't need to do that again. And now I'm trying out this palette that I was sent from Ofra. This is the Francesca Tolot Gilded palette. Francesca is an amazing celebrity makeup artist. She is so, so good. And they obviously did a collaboration. She did a collaboration with Ofra. And this is, as I said, the Gilded palette. So it has two bronzers, and then these are two, what I assume are glowy blushes. I guess I'm going to find out. So I'm going to use the lighter of the two for some contour. And I'm going to use this large angled contour brush F40 from Sigma. So far I like the color. I feel like it's coming up a little orangey on camera, but in my light it doesn't appear to be. Ooh, that was a little dark. You know, if you ever apply bronzer or contour and it's too dark, just keep blending. You ever watched Finding Nemo? Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Yeah, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep blending. Just keep blending. So back to the eyes, I am using a flat eyeshadow brush. This one is the Sigma Flat Definer E15. And I'm going into a mixture of those two shades once again. And I'm placing that underneath the lashes. And I'm having it meet up with the eyeliner. Or I should say I'm having it meet up with the winged liner. So now that that's done, I am going to take a pencil brush and go back into the shade that I used on my lid called Sidewalk. And I'm popping that in the inner corners. And then I'm taking the L'Oreal Smoldering Eye Pencil and lining the inner rims. Okay, now I can go in and apply mascara to the lower lash lines. So this, as I showed you earlier, has a couple of blushes in it. I don't know if I want to do this or if I want to use the Kinks and Kisses blush. I ordered this from Marc Jacobs when I ordered the eyeshadow palette because this is the only one of the collection that I don't have. I have all the other Marc Jacobs Air blushes. Let me show it to you in case you haven't seen it before. This, I couldn't believe I didn't have this one. It's like the pinky peach color. So I kind of want to use this, but I also kind of want to try one of these. All right, I'm going to go for one of these. I'm going to use the peachy color. I really like the look of lavender and peach. Something about it just reminds me of the sunset, like a Hawaiian sunset. So I'm going to go in with this shade. What is this called? Called Venezia? Venezia? Oh, I was not expecting it to be that pigmented. Okay, luckily I have another clean brush here. Okay, this is a really beautiful color. I'm glad I went with this, but obviously a little bit goes a long way, so I'm just going to go a little bit lighter on this side, use a lighter hand. I kind of love this. And Ofra also sent me this All Glowed Up palette. And this one has a bunch of their highlighters in it. I've seen so many YouTubers use the Ofra highlighters, and I've never had one, and I'm excited that I have all of these now, and I think I'm going to use Rodeo Drive. I see that one used a lot in videos, and it always looks so pretty. And that's a serious highlight. All right, we're almost done. I am going to do my lips now. The lipstick that prompted me to make an Amy's order and buy the Overachiever concealer and the lashes from Huda Beauty was this Luxe lip color from Bobbi Brown in Nude Pink. I've mentioned in other videos that I've started following a lot of Australian influencers or makeup artists because I just love the way they do makeup. It's much more natural looking than what we see here in the United States and even in the UK. I think the UK is also pretty heavy-handed with their makeup. I went a little heavy-handed and dramatic with this look, but I've also started following a lot of makeup artists from Israel. I don't know how I know how they started popping up on my Explore feed, and I just started noticing that the way they do makeup is also a lot more subtle and just beautiful. And I saw this picture recently. I'll put a picture of it on the screen. And I just thought that lip color was gorgeous. So even though I couldn't read the Hebrew that was in the breakdown, I saw Bobbi Brown Pink Nude. So that's what I ordered. And I don't own any of the Bobbi Brown Luxe lipstick formulas. This is my first one. And ooh, that packaging is very luxe. This looks more like a straight up pink than a pink nude to me. It is super creamy. I guess if it's a Luxe lipstick, it should be, right? It's definitely more pink than I would normally reach for this look. I'm gonna do, what lip liner? I'm gonna use this one called Staunchly Stylish from MAC. I don't hate it, but I feel like I need to tie the look in a little bit more with something peachy. So I'm going to grab a peach gloss or something else and change my clothes and then come back. So I did end up putting a little bit of gloss on top of that Bobbi Brown lipstick. I used the Tarte H2O gloss in Sandy Toes. I just applied a little bit right to the center to kind of tone down the pink a little bit. I added my favorite Melissa Lovey earrings. These are the Serenas. They're so gorgeous. I am thinking about ordering the smaller version. She has a baby Serena and then an XS Serena, and they're just so gorgeous. I love them. And I think I'm ready to go. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Get Ready with me, using some new on the market products and some products that are just new to me. And if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and become part of the Risa Does Makeup family. And you can also follow me on Instagram, and I have Snapchat, which I rarely ever use, but I'm also on Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest, and everything is the same name. It's all Risa Does Makeup. So thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.